Ladies and bald people, Andy here. It's my Christmas series. This is day 11. I just woke up, hence the dressing gown. I'm about to leave very early in the morning to go and spend Christmas with my friend, but I thought I'd bang out the last video before I go away, and when I get back, I'll do the rest of them. So you guys and girls watching are going to get a clear run of videos every day over Christmas and New Year's. Let's get straight into answering some more questions before I go on my epic adventure with my friend. So Dark Knight 526 says, love the dynamic from my two favorite bald gingers. So he was commenting on a video that I did with Cam, and he goes on to say, thanks for making this type of content. Appreciate the hard work that you guys do for the universe. I appreciate all of you. I wouldn't be doing this if you all weren't here. Actually, that's not true. I would still be doing this. I would just be working a full-time job. So I would be doing a lot less of this. Actually, even that's not true. I don't know that I could work a full-time job for that long. I think I was losing my mind. I think this was always inevitable. I got to a point where I was like, I can't work this freaking job anymore. I can't work any job anymore. I need to do my own thing. So this always would have happened. But that's my very clumsy way of saying I really appreciate all of you for making this happen 10,000 times quicker. I would have figured out some other way to pay the bills. I think, okay, let's do a fun video on like other ways that I might have made money. Like if I wasn't making money from coaching, I think I would have made money from sex, from my sex life. Most of my sex life is on the internet anyway. Actually, that's not, there's a hell of a lot that I keep private, but like a lot of my sex life is on the internet. And I think I probably was going to go down the route of doing like OnlyFans and stuff like that. Imogen and I have done OnlyFans with other girls. We've dated quite a few girls that do OnlyFans, and we've shot videos and pictures and stuff like that for their profiles. And we've run some of their accounts before, and we made a decent chunk of money. There was one girl that we ran her account for about 2 months, and then she ended up, just sort of getting sick of it and wanting to go off and do something else. She got a boyfriend basically who wasn't super okay with her having an OnlyFans. But for a little while there, we were making about $4,000 a month, and we were splitting that 50-50. So Imogen and I kept 2,000, she kept 2,000, and that was pretty fun. And I could see us going down. We're not going to do it now, obviously, because I'm busy and I'm not. OnlyFans isn't the most appealing thing to me. But for a while there, Imogen and I discussed doing an OnlyFans, but I would help people through that OnlyFans. So basically, doing an OnlyFans where we would have sex with the women that we date and, make sure they're all on board with it. We had a process for like screening where on Tinder or Hinge, we would literally say, hey, are you interested in doing some OnlyFans content with us? We would split the money. Or if you have an OnlyFans, we will do content for you and you can keep it for free. And, as long as we can keep it for ours. And we met quite a few girls that had their own OnlyFans and wanted to, collaborate with us. And so we would shoot these videos and there was these pictures, but my plan was to write, or an idea that I had was to write up almost like an article, like what I do now, or a video or something, giving advice to people. So maybe we would have like BDSM sex with these, with the girls that we were seeing, but we would do almost like a walkthrough of what we were doing as we were doing it. And we would maybe I would do, a voiceover afterwards and explain what I was doing and explain like how you can do the same thing. And afterwards, we would get the girl to sit down with us and do almost like a podcast and how was that? How did you feel? What did you like? What didn't you like? What would you like to do next time? And kind of like there was a podcast, I don't know if it's still running, but there was a podcast called I think it's by the guy who does the No Jumper podcast. Yeah, I'm correct. I just looked it up. It's the guy, Adam 22, and he does podcasts with women that he and his girlfriend sleep with. And they will do an interview or a podcast on YouTube or Spotify or whatever, and then they'll have sex with them, and then they'll put that on OnlyFans. And so I had it in my head that we could do something like that, but in an educational way where it's like giving value to people. So it's not just like porn and, give me money because I had sex on camera. It would be more like, here's all the cool stuff that Imogen and I are doing, and you sure as hell can do it too. And here's how to do it too. And so I had this idea of doing essentially the same content that I'm doing now, but with my sex life included in there. Ultimately, we didn't go down that route because I want to expand out and not just do sex content, but yeah, that would be one idea of how I would make money if I wasn't doing coaching, if I wasn't doing this content that I'm doing right now. On top of that, I had ideas to write books. Another idea I had that Imogen and I had a while ago was to write adult fiction, like erotic literature. I had a coaching client. I think I had two coaching clients, but one guy in particular who was paying all the bills from writing adult, like erotic fiction, like mostly for women, but like romance novels that have sex in them. And he would put all of them on Amazon. By the way, there's a whole like market of erotic fiction on Amazon. There's a whole industry there that a lot of you probably never know about. I had no idea. And you make the books like 99 cents so that they will show up at the top because they're the cheapest. And you just write like literally hundreds of them and you make a tiny little bit of passive income at a time. I was going to do something like that, but write true stories of the women that we date and obviously ask their permission and make sure they're okay with it and maybe figure out some way to reward them for that, like split the income or something. But that was an idea that I had. So yeah, this is a little tangent, little rabbit hole here, but there were lots of different ways that I was thinking of making money. On top of that, I just had the general idea of like doing general self-improvement content and writing a book on that. I had an idea of writing a book on how I overcame depression. Ultimately, I ended up doing these things and making them articles or video courses anyway. Like my Play to Win video course, this video course right here, the one that I released recently, there's a link in the description below. This is basically like every single thing I did in self-improvement over the last 10 or 15 years. And then on my website where I wrote the How I Beat My Depression and Learn to Be an Optimist story. And then there's a video that's, I think 1 hour and 20 minutes long of me just narrating the entire thing. That's my book, I guess, on how I beat my depression. So I ultimately ended up doing these things anyway. But these are some of the ideas I've had in the past of how I was going to make money. So I think ultimately I knew that I was going to go down this path of self-sufficiency and not working a job or independence, financial independence, whatever you want to call it. But I am really, really, really grateful to all of you that you allow me to do it in this way. This feels like what I want to do. If I was doing the OnlyFans idea that I had, ultimately there would be compromises there that I eventually would move away from. Like I don't want to do OnlyFans. Making pornography, especially when I'm someone that has struggled with a porn addiction in the past, I'm not someone that wants to make pornography. I'm happy to if it's in an educational context, but I would prefer to make money the way that we're doing it right now, which is coaching people. If I wrote a book or something like that, that feels a little bit removed from the one-to-one interaction that I get with all of you right now, where I can, read out your comments and reply to you and do coaching. I like that a little bit better rather than writing a book and you all just go off and read it and improve yourselves and I never get to interact with you. So I'm very grateful that this current form of the way that I'm getting to make money and getting to help people is the way that I'm doing it. So thank you to all of you. Every single time one of you says like, thank you, I appreciate you, my first thought is like, what the fuck, man? I appreciate you guys and girls. Are you serious? Like, I get to sit here and do this. So, I've talked about this before. I've done videos on this. This video here is the one that's most relevant to what I'm about to say. It's called How to Grow Your Audience and Build a Community Content Creation Guide. And really, it's a business guide. I know I said content creation, but this is like a business guide. So this is on my website, on my YouTube channel. But one of the things that I said in this video is, if you can give value to people and if you would constantly express gratitude, like literally one of the biggest key components that I would recommend if you're building a business is have some sense of gratitude in there on your part. Like every day, wake up and say that you're grateful for the business or that you're grateful for your clients or you're grateful for your customers. And even better, if you tell them that. And if you do that as a daily practice, man, you have this relationship or you build this relationship with your audience or your clients or your customers or whatever it is, your end user, where you just feel this incredible gratitude for them. And they feel incredible gratitude for you because if someone's grateful for us, we then feel grateful for them. It feels nice to have someone be grateful for us. And you're giving them value. You're giving them a service or an entertainment or a product or whatever. You're helping them in some way. You're making their life just a little bit better. Even if all you do is sell a product, hopefully the product makes their life a little bit better. You don't make money from making someone's life worse, although There are exceptions to that. There are exceptions to that. If you sell like an addictive product, or if you're like the news or something like that, where you're trying to like make the person feel worse, or you're trying to have, so there are exceptions, but like generally speaking, most businesses exist to make the customer's life a little bit better. That is a far surer plan for success, for long-term success, than trying to make their life worse. Because eventually the customers all figure out, wait, the news hates us, or heroin isn't good for us, and they do everything that they can to try and break free of it. Alcohol is another good one. Lots of people try and break free from alcohol because they're like, wow, I don't think alcohol wants us to be better off. Alcohol is just a tool, but fine, like whatever. You get the point. But if you can build something that's positive and build something that adds value to the customers or the client's life, and then tell them that you're grateful for them, and then they reciprocate that back, wow, it doesn't even feel like a business anymore. It feels like a connection or a family or a relationship or something beautiful, where you get to wake up every day and you're grateful that you get to do this thing. And then people will say to you, I'm grateful to you. And you're like, holy fuck, this is the magic. This is the magic formula right here. This is how I wake up every day and be glad that I get to do this and be grateful. And the customers or the clients, or in your case, you guys' case, the audience and my clients, I guess as well, my coaching clients, we all get to wake up and be glad that this happens. We all get to benefit from this thing. In other words, it's not a zero-sum game. It's not, I take money from you, like I get something from you. It's, I give something to you, and you give something back to me, and then I give you gratitude for that, and then you give me gratitude for that, and then I give you gratitude for giving me gratitude, and then you say, well, no, Andy, I'm grateful to you for saying that you're grateful to me, for saying that I'm grateful, and you just, you keep going back and forwards with this gratitude and this value, and you can build businesses around that. You can build sexual relationships and deeper relationships. This is why I talk about, when I give dating advice, I say, leave your partners better than you found them, or while you're with them, aim to make their life just a little bit better. If you're going outside and approaching strangers, to hit on them or to talk to them, try and make them smile at the very least. Everything can add value to other people's lives, and they can then add value back to yours, and you can build this beautiful reciprocal relationship where everyone benefits. A lot of people look at friendships and relationships and business, especially business, they look at it as a zero-sum game of like, my boss is trying to screw me over and, make me do stuff. And then I'm trying to screw my boss over and just get money. I'm just here for that bag. I'm just here for that paycheck. And there's so much on like Instagram and the internet, which glamorizes this idea of like just chasing that bag, just getting that money, fucking the other person over. And I'm just here for that money. And you can go through life like that if you want to, but that just seems tiring to me. And that's how I used to see relationships and sex. I used to see it as like, I have to get laid. I have to get something from the other person. And man, that is so unbelievably tiring, because you're always on guard. You're always thinking that the other person is trying to get something from you and you have to get it from them first. You never get to relax and actually connect with someone. It's very hard to connect with someone that you don't trust. And if you're trying to get something from someone, there's no trust. And so if you can build a relationship, or if you can build even just casual sex, or if you can build a business or anything like that based on trust and I guess vulnerability and I guess giving, which I do all the time, giving with trust, then you can build something beautiful. I can give you plenty of examples of all the stuff that I've given to kind of get your mind going. Okay, here's a really recent example. So something that happens a lot is people will say, Andy, I want to sign up for coaching. Right now, we have like 3 or 4 people that have done this, like right this second. They say, I want to sign up for coaching, and I know that your prices are slowly going up over time, which they have been for the last like 4 years. As I add more value to the coaching program, as I get more confident, just as we get more clients and stuff, and I get busier and Cam gets busier and the other coaches get busier. And so, the price is going up over time. So Andy, I want to give you like a deposit right now, and I want to lock in the coaching at the current price. If I give you a deposit, like, can we do that? Can I lock in the price at the current price? And I'm like, yeah, of course. Like, sure, I could do that. And what I then do is I say, and so they'll say, but I don't want to start the coaching for another like 6 months. I've even had someone say, I don't want to start the coaching for a year, but can I pay you like 10 grand right now and just like lock that shit in? And I'm like, yeah, of course you can. Let's do it. So they'll give the money and I'll explain, look, it's not refundable. Whatever you're giving me is not refundable. Like, You have to be okay with that. And they're like, yep, that's fine. And as a sign of like, not as a sign, but like to help them with their coaching, to get them started early, what I will say is, I'm going to add you to our members only Discord, which is where all the other coaching clients are. So you can network with everyone from the past that I've ever worked with, everyone that I'll ever work with in the future. Like I'll add you to that. And I will add you to our platform where we have all like our video library of all the members only videos and books and all that kind of stuff. We have like a whole library of content that Cam and I have put together to help people with coaching. And like, it's like extra content on top of what's on my YouTube channel, but it's like deeper content. It's like more advanced content. It's like, I don't know if you'd say it's better content, but it's content that's more relevant to like coaching clients. And so we've got a whole library. And so I say you can go in there for free, even though you haven't paid for the coaching yet. You've only paid a deposit. Some people only pay like a $2,000 deposit or something. And I'm like, you've only paid $2,000 and you haven't paid the full thing, but fuck it, I'll add you. There is some trust there because every now and then, it's probably like 1 in 50 people will be like, Andy, I am so sorry. I've had a big financial setback, like a medical bill, or like my mom died, or, you know, whatever. I lost my job. Some shit happened. Some big shit happened. I'm so sorry, Andy. I don't think I can go ahead with the coaching. Is there any chance that you would give me like a partial refund or give me some money back? And of course, I always say like, yeah, sure, I'll give you a refund. That's like easy done. So I give them, you know, money back. And then I take them out of the members only section, take them out of the Discord. But there's some trust there that's happened. Like I have essentially, like every single person that pays a deposit and then I add them to these members only sections when they haven't paid in full, I'm giving a little bit of trust there. You see how that's me saying you can have the thing that you haven't fully paid for yet. You've put a deposit down and there's a tiny chance you might ask for a refund and cancel, and like a partial refund and cancel, but I'm giving you some trust and putting you in there. And there's so many, like that's just one random example, but there's so many of these little examples of where I will go, look, I'm trusting you. Or someone will say like, Andy, you know, I know I'm on a payment plan right now, but I can't make this month's payment. Is it okay if we wait, you know, 2 months and then I'll resume, and I promise I'll resume? And I could be Captain Hard-Ass like I think most businesses would, especially if they're charging the amount that I'm charging. And I could be like, no, like this is a big professional thing. Like you signed a contract. Even the contract that I make people sign is written in like Andy language rather than corporate bullshit language. You know, where it's like, you guys and girls know what contracts are like when it's lawyer speak, and it makes no sense. Like the two parties agree under this amendment, section C, clause, blah, blah, blah. No, I wrote a 1-page contract in Andy language that literally says, hey, you know, don't stress about this contract. It's just a formality more than anything. You know, you just agree that this is what you'll be paying. You agree that there's no, you know, refunds, there's no extensions, blah, blah, blah. If you ever have any issues with anything in this contract, you can just talk to me. If you ever can't make a payment, just shoot me an email. We'll figure out what to do about it. You know, every problem has a solution. It's written like Andy language. And so there's all these times where I could be like ultra professional in the business, but I've instead chosen, no, I just want to meet people and trust them. I want to meet them halfway and realize that they're a human being. They're not someone that's trying to like fuck me over and like get a refund from me or some shit like that. It's a human being. And if you can operate a business like that, and that requires a lot of trust and vulnerability, trust me, it was really fucking scary for me to do a lot of this stuff. Really scary. Every piece of advice that I found on the internet was like, you have to be ultra professional with your business. Customers are going to try and get refunds from you. You have to have insurance against chargebacks in case someone signs up for your coaching and then a year later they do a chargeback and they fuck you over. Like I had so many conversations from people giving me advice on that, where they're like, what are you going to do in the case of like, you know, a client doing a chargeback and trying to screw you over? What are you ever going to do if someone leaves a negative review and tries to like review bomb your business? What are you ever going to do if someone like tries to take out your content? What are you going to do if you get hackers and all of this? And I was like, I don't want to live my life in fear. I don't want to look at my audience, you guys and girls, you beautiful human beings. I don't want to look at you as if you're trying to fuck me, because in doing so, I put up walls and I don't trust you. And then you get some weird sense of like, why is he being so corporate and clinical? Why is he being weird? It's almost like he doesn't trust us. Why doesn't he trust us? Does he have something to hide? Why is he trying to fuck us over? And you put up these walls and this barrier between you, and I don't ever want that. It is my mission to go down this path of trust and love and vulnerability with all of you. And me giving that to you first. It's my job. If I want that from all of you, that's my job to give it to you. That's why I give away so much free stuff. That's why I am very vulnerable and honest. That's why I don't have corporate language. It's why I don't do all this like professional business bullshit, because I'm giving trust and vulnerability and love, because I've just seen in my own life that when I'm able to do that, which again can be really fucking scary and difficult sometimes, but when I'm able to do that, beautiful things happen. So yeah, that's my rant. That's my big side tangent. I tell you what, ladies and gentlemen, I'm going to be a little bit cheeky here. I'm going to help myself out a little bit. You all know that I love to talk and I do like 45-minute videos, even when I say I'm going to do a 5-minute video, but I'm going to end this video right now and I'm going to answer the remaining questions in a second video. That way I get to do 2 videos for the price of 1. So I will end this video right here, but I appreciate all of you very, very, very much. I'm very grateful. If it's not clear, I'm unbelievably grateful. I really appreciate that the vast majority of you, 99.999% of you, have met my honesty and my vulnerability with nothing but like open arms and compassion and kindness. You are also unbelievably kind, and I really, really, really appreciate that. I love being able to do this with all of you. Let's build something beautiful. I mean, by the time this video gets released, it'll be really close to the new year. So get started right now on whatever your goals might be. Let's make 2024 a beautiful, amazing, kick-ass, legendary year.